guys ready to laugh just a little bit? Oh yeah, well if you're ready to laugh a lot, you're really in for a treat. Mr. Johnny Roberts.
Well, how's everybody doing out there? How many of you would rather be here than the best hospital in the whole world? Make some noise. There we go. Y'all looking good out there. I came in earlier back there a few minutes ago, and this pretty girl walks up to me. She says, Johnny, you look like $1 million. I said, honey, you ain't never seen $1 million before. She said, that's right. You look like something I ain't never seen before. I was having breakfast this morning, and I'm a Southern boy. Y'all can tell right off I ain't from New York City. Did y'all catch that? And I was having me some grits and some sausage gravy and biscuits and some ham. This fella comes over here to me and says, hey boy, don't you know eating that junk right there will harden up your arteries? I said, well, my granddaddy lived till he was 96 years old. He said, from eating that stuff? I said, no, from minding his own business. And look out here, looks like we got a lot of snowbirds here tonight. Snowbirds, make some noise. There we go. Woo! Well, I was born and raised right here in Florida. There's a couple of us left. And let me tell you, snowbird, something. Florida is an old Indian word. Did you know that? It means road construction. That's the truth, ain't it, baby? And I get to perform a lot at these big retirement centers all around the country, retirement communities. And I found out one thing at these retirement communities, there's a lot of old folks and their parents. But I was at one the other night, man, that was a partying bunch. I tell you, they got a drink there. It's milk of magnesia and vodka. It's called the Phillips Screwdriver. Now, they got another drink there. It's prune juice and vodka. And it's called the Pile Driver. I don't know where. And speaking of prune juice, I've been doing that prune diet lately. Y'all been on that prune diet? Every morning I get up, I eat 2 great big old cups of prunes. Every morning. And I ain't losing no weight, but boy, am I easy to find. I get to fly around quite a bit. I was up in Nashville the other day, and I was doing a little bit there, and I talked to a fella down front. I said, have you ever ate a bagel? He said, why in the world would I want to eat my hunting dog? And y'all talk about being from Kentucky. Where's them Kentucky folks? I got lost up there in Kentucky. I got lost. I pulled over and asked one of them Kentucky boys. I said, how do you get to Louisville from here? He said, well, my brother takes me. And last winter I was in Michigan. Any Michigan folks? Whoa! Man, us Florida boys, it was cold up there. I slept between the mattresses. It was so cold in Michigan. It was so cold the lawyers had both hands in their own pockets. And everybody I know from Florida, from Michigan's an older person. So when I got to Michigan, I thought there was going to be some old people in Michigan. There ain't no old people in Michigan. They turn 65, the kids put them in the car and send them to Florida. And here they come down the interstate, a steering wheel and 2 hands. I even went up in them little bitty states up there, Maryland and Rhode Island and Connecticut and Vermont up in there. But I can't go back up there no more because they ain't got no grits. I called the waitress over one morning. I said, ma'am, do you have grits? She said, not since we sprayed. We still got chiggers and mole mice, but we got rid of them grits. Then we went to Pennsylvania. Whoa! Did you hear about the Mennonite boy that married the Amish girl? He drove her buggy. But I fly quite a bit, and I was reading on the airplane the other day, did you know that 1 out of every 3 people is ugly? Now look at the person on each side of you. And if they look okay, Uh-oh, they're pointing at each other out there tonight. Woo! I'm telling you, you got to walk. Hey, did y'all read in the paper today? Two guys robbed a bank right here in this town. They robbed a bank and they wore stockings over their head. Did y'all read that? Well, actually, they wore pantyhose over their head. So they had to walk real close together. But they did it. And I've got two friends, Buddy and Barney. I live in little bitty towns toward the other coast over there called Kathleen, Florida. Y'all ever heard of it? And my two friends, Buddy and Barney, they went to get them a job the other day, and the man sat Buddy down in a chair, and he says, Buddy, if I stick my finger in your eye, what will you be? Buddy said, half blind. The guy said, if I stick two fingers in both of your eyes, what will you be? Buddy said, all blind. The guy said, you made 100 on the test, you got a job, send your brother in here. So Buddy got out there in the lobby, and he goes, Barney, the answers is half blind and all blind. You go in there and tell the man that, and you'll get the job like I did. So Barney got set down in the chair, and the man looks at him and says, if I cut off one of your ears, what will you be? Barney said, half blind. The guy said, if I cut off both of your ears, what will you be? Barney said, all blind. Guy said, how in the world you figure that? He said, because my hat would fall down over my eyes. All right, I got a quick song for you. I know living here in Florida, we love to fish, don't we, folks? And this is a song, it's a cross between getting your heart broke and going fishing, so you can figure it out as I sing it, all right? It's called I Lobster and Never Flounder. I was a cook, she was a waitress, down at the Salty Dog Seafood Cafe. And somewhere between the clam juice and the seaweed salad, some little shrimp just lured her away. Well, I lobster and never flounder. He wrapped his line around her and they drove off in his cart. Well, I lobster and never flounder. I octopus his face in, he'll only break her heart. Well, I said just squid and leave me for that piano tuna if you want a trout something new. She was the bass I ever had, now my life has no purpose. Oh my God, I love her, yes I do. Get your tissues out, it gets sad right here. Boy, I swordfish, she'd come back to me. We sure had a whale of a time. I kept her picture in my walleye. Wonder if she kept mine in her perch. Well, I bass squid this seahorsing around before I go into a state of shark. Because if I get out of here alive tonight, it's going to be a mackerel. Yeah, I lobster and never flounder. He wrapped his line around her and they drove off in his cart. Oh, I lobster and never flounder. I octopus his face in, he'll only break her heart. But frankly, Scallop, I don't give a clam. Good night, God bless y'all. Had a wonderful time. Thank you so much.
Mr. Johnny Roberts, ladies and gentlemen.